I cannot really tell if you are all bullshit or just half bullshit or just bullshit. I have my own probabilities, perhaps, but this is what I think. I think for sure, it's well known you are not an actor. You're not in the guild, you are not an actor, and therefore you are an outrider. You are an outrider and a fraud, sir, and therefore you have the role. Congratulations. I knew you were going to do it.
Cheers. Now
I knew you were going to do it. all along.
he comes out of nowhere to give beneficence and blessings. Thank you. Bellissimo.
Walk with me a second. Here we have my portrait of Jean-Michel Basquiat. It's my version of a smaller painting that I bought from the artist back in the 80s in Washington Square Park. The two skulls, the heart, the ribs. It was a phase in which Jean-Michel was fascinated by Gray's Anatomy. And it was overworked. There was a painting underneath that he had dismissed. And the unwanted child, he told me, was an abortion that had happened in New Orleans some years before that was still weighing on his mind. A very powerful piece, the original. And this is my portrait of Basquiat in his last days. Carlos,
Frank Glendover. I can't believe it. It's the end of the world again. So I find it amusing. I wonder who heard that you would be here, or who heard that I would be here. Either way, it doesn't matter. We seem to come together at the important conference. What's going on? What's happening?
Never where we are. We are always going someplace else.
Just another wine shop at the end of the world.
Oh, I suppose.
Well, I had an interesting conversation.
What do you have in mind,
Maybe
Carlos?
I was wondering if you know the whereabouts of the trigger.
And what do you care about the trigger? The prime benefit of the restoration of the 4 classes. It's not for comfort. It's not for faith. It's not for love. It's to free up the relations between people, between peoples, between man, between woman, between parents and children. It is a new way to be human. It is Homo sapiens. It is not context in the business. It's not return on investment for all of your emotions. Because how does the business class work? It preys on your emotions. It preys on your weaknesses, on your envy, on your jealousy, on your hatred. Look around today, and you know what I mean. Homo sapiens is accomplished in this restoration, and we have much work to do. The memory of how the wisdom class works must be rediscovered. The memory of how the noble class works must be redesigned. And the Hamburgs in the working class who have their physical immortality will no longer need entertainments. No. They will have meaning in their lives. Everyone in every class will have meaning and significance and value in their lives. And they do not have to believe in this faith or that faith. No. They have the confidence in their own being. Season 2 of I'm Carlos Now is what Nietzsche called the revaluation of all decadent values. You know, it hasn't come up for a while, but what did you do with the trigger? I mean...
Well, you know, honestly, even though I was talking all about it before, I didn't like having it.
But it was power. It was power.
Yeah. I didn't want something like that.
It's the most powerful thing in the world.
Yeah, but
maybe.
It's not, you know, it was weighing me down. And I don't need that kind of dirt anymore, especially with Alison's campaign heating up and so forth, and things getting moving with that. And so I don't want something to kind of come out about it later on, and for people to find out about that, because it seems to run against a lot of what I've been trying to do recently.
I gotcha. Okay. So, well, that's, I mean, yeah. Okay.
I know. So I had it for a while, and felt great to have it, but I had to give it back.
Well, it's, you know, it's kind of funny. I mean, if you did a Faustian bargain to get it, it didn't take much of a bargain to get out of it.
I hope not. We'll see.
I mean, it sounds to me like love conquers all.
Wow.
I mean, it could be. I mean, more than power itself.
I hope so. Yeah,
it might be you know, it could be a recurring theme here. I don't know. But I can see in your face you're a changed man.
Yeah, I think so. I gave it back to Mr. Green, so it's his problem.
Mr. Green?
Yeah, give it back to Mr. Green. I don't know anyone else who would take it.
Mr. Green?
He's not going to do anything with it anyway.
Now, where?
He's actually the most likely person to do nothing with it, if you think about it.
You know, I don't know about that, Mr. Green. He turned into like this wolf man, number 7, you know.
Yeah.
And like capitalist, greedy, you know. But then that got turned against him. So we'll see what happens. Well, Mr. Gray, why not? I mean, he used to be a decent fellow.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, he just, you know, he was a gumshoe. He was a detective. And we've seen a lot, you know, and I'm Carlos now. We have seen a lot of personality jumps and personality changes and personality metamorphoses. What else would you like to say to our viewers?
You want someone who is clairvoyant, honest, and actually going to do something that they platform on. I'm that person.
This was the first example of Texas Red's black hole series. It's called Your Gravity Wave Will Be Arriving Soon. This shows the imminent collision of the two black holes and the information from that merger has been coming towards us for many billions of years. Your gravity wave will be arriving soon.
We cannot trust the Russians. We cannot trust the Americans. We cannot trust the businessman. No.
The trigger. I know who has the trigger.
It doesn't interest me so much. I've more or less given up looking for it. But that brings me to a specific question. I want to run and rule the Roddenberry Nine.
Carlos.
It's been a long dream of mine. We dallied around it. I've been involved with your people. I've accomplished great feats.
Carlos. You are in the Roddenberry Nine. You've always been in the Roddenberry Nine, and you are the perfect person to run it. And you have information that is good. Good, that is good.
Let me...
But what is your information? It needn't be important. It needn't be critical, because you are the perfect leader of the Roddenberry Nine. For now. For now.
You're making this almost too easy, but let me ask you this.
I arrived in Zurich on a cold Wednesday morning, 4 a.m. I made my way to this top secret nuclear collider science facility. The need to know basis for this knowledge is so minute that but a scarce few retinal scans can be had in a fortnight. I was one of those that came in on that cold morning. As I walked into the collider reactor facility, all eyes were on me. What are you doing here? I'm here for the test. You can't be close to that gem. We know what your history is, they said. History? There's no history. At that very moment, the alarm started to sound and the explosion went off in the background. All eyes turned. When they turned back, I was gone.
Frank takes the train to New York, sketching details of the plan with a little legroom and post-punk eyeliners in the club car. Disembarks Port Authority, waves goodbye to the caffeine-driven ash cans and groupies. Now he recognizes the material agent running deep in his blood again. Now the flight from California starts to make sense. Raoul named the hotel where Achille Cardoza stays. So Frank takes a cab to Katz's Diner. 20-minute wait for a Rubin masterpiece. Then cruising the Chelsea galleries, his aesthetic indifference to the 1980s rocked by something fresh, brutal. At the Mary Boone Gallery, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Here is a soul on fire. Here's the Picasso of pain. Frank wanders through street vendors to the back entrance of the Washington Square Hotel. Finds a blue service uniform hanging on a silver hook and knocks on Cardoza's door. You rang for a cocktail? No, I ordered nothing. Go away. Complimentary, sir. Complimentary. He knocks again softly as Achille opens the door. Frank evades his arrogance with a plastic smile and ceremonially puts the drink on the side table, stepping away as if waiting for a tip. Achille says something in Spanish, turns, reaching for the glass when Frank chokes him from behind and etches a thin red line on his throat with a plastic knife. Never, never touch Desi again. Never. Do you understand? Do you? Cardoza slumps to the floor, maybe shocked, maybe fainted, maybe a heart attack. Doesn't matter. Frank had a message to deliver, a growl forced from deep inside by recurring emotional trauma. And it's been delivered. He closes the door, retraces the back stairs, puts the uniform back on the hook, then out, walking numb, remembering the agent's dilemma. After a completed mission, how empty the mind, how empty the world. Frank's shuffling for hours, empty. Maybe the Bowery, maybe Tribeca. At 3 a.m, Frank finds himself back at Washington Square Park, watching a crazy hare shooting up heroin on a bench, surrounded by notebooks and doodles. A small canvas with 2 skulls propped against a dirty backpack. Basquiat? How much for the painting? Basquiat nods, mumbles, nods again, nods out. Empty. When Frank puts 3 Jacksons in his shirt pocket, carries the paintings away, he's headed for chickpeas and a beer for breakfast at Max's Kansas City, thinking these voodoo teeth, skulls, will fill the emptiness for a while.
You would be an elegant solution to the problem of the Roddenberry knife. It has been degenerated. Yes. So I think somehow. So you have information.
Let's just say more than a little. First of all, to share what we call Mr. 51%, number 7. He is getting, shall we say, moved aside.
That I understand.
What happens after that?
But that is it. That's not information. Come on, Carlos.
What is this? So tell me, I know you may have more information. The Derwoods have been very good with me because I've been able to elevate their game. I can elevate the position of the Roddenberry 9 by providing an extraordinary piece of information, perhaps to save the world. What do you know of the Doomsday device?
Russians had one. Americans had one.
There is one in Siberia, another location. Buried beneath the permafrost, surrounded by nuclear bombs. The trigger, in fact, is the melting point of the permafrost. When it melts to a certain level, it will activate the device, which will effectively raise the temperature of the world's climate by 2 degrees. Therefore, destroying the world within perhaps a generation or 2. To eradicate and to find this device is of paramount importance, and I can show the location to the order.
We must stop global warming. It's more dangerous than they say.
Whether I understand where you're at in this new social change, it makes no difference to me. What does make a difference, it will affect all of us unless this is eradicated. So, in exchange for your support and my elevation to the leadership of the Roddenberry 9, perhaps that's a big enough nugget for you to make that a consideration.
I have no objection. I see great things ahead. I would like to save the planet. Why not?
Done.
Marvelous.
But what caught his eye was This fresh, kind of brutal art. Jean-Michel Basquiat. Was it disturbed? He's empty inside. Oh, I can go away. It's your free afternoon cocktail, Mr. Martini. Never touch Desi again. Never. Do you understand? After a mission is completed, in a sense, the agent is empty. He's empty inside. He's empty inside. He's empty inside. Who are you? What are those doodles? He's empty inside. What are those pages lying there? Are those yours? This was Basquiat. But he was knotted out. He's empty, not inside. Comatose. He's empty inside. Picked up one of the pages and put it in his pocket. He's empty inside. He's empty inside. To never touch Desi again. Never. Do you understand? He's the son of Owen Glendover, and his Welsh blood gives him the right to ride over dreams as if they were distinctions of will. He refuses to prefer the continuity of waking life to what occurs to his mind while he sleeps. Even when his Celtic pride strikes genius and gives the glint of autonomy to his actions, experience remains more a matter of taste than memory. Was he recruited as an AFS student in Leningrad, trained in the intricate loyalties of the Soviet man, and given mystic vision into the true nature of material? Or was this a personal fantasy running deep in the blood? Or maybe a collective spirit ruling his decisions from the blue? Everything he does is jacketed by intellect and contradiction. Until he misses a haircut at the Mission Inn, and the Cold War stops. As red curls cover the tips of his ears, he asks himself one last question, and then lets it all go. His handlers in Moscow curse, send the local guerrillas to reel him in. But they don't have a chance, because now he feels his sensual destiny. SDS and the other leftist groups are jokes. Nobody can be a hippie like me. I am Shakespeare's every character. I am Emerson's every personality. I will inherit the earth. I am the material agent. I will eliminate the metaphysical, starting with the strongest Eastern masters. So he picks up a passport from a safe house in Fremont. Next morning, he's on a flight to Hong Kong, feeling flip like Mercurio, poxing both their houses. I'm going to take out a few gurus, he comments to the hostess as she pours his Canada Dry ginger ale. Man must be overcome. Man must be overcome. After 2 weeks resting in the YMCA, he's huddled in a sandblasted delivery van with a rubber mask and cheap plastic shoes, working out his opening moves against the Chan Buddhist master. The master who named the winds of consciousness. In this film, he's accepted at the back door of the Ma Shan Monastery, asked to clean the chicken coops and crease the 6,000 handkerchiefs that lie on every wooden surface. He's a background fixture at the morning lectures on the Prajnaparamita Sutra, until one Saturday over gruel, he fires from the hip. Not only is there no dust on the mirror, not only is there no one to know it, not only is there no enlightenment, But no one has ever been conscious. Red flames leap from Master Yin's eyes as Frank escapes laughing and works his way to Tibet. He decides to modify the idea at the Portola Palace in the heartbeat of the 500-year-old man. Giant conches salute another clear win. So he carries on to India, exposing the magic tricks of Sai Baba, where mysterious white ash and petals in the palm gets the guru a Patek Philippe or Vacheron. The son of Owen Glendover finds he can best champion material life by defeating the masters of metaphysical deception. Yet the more he stays in the East, where individuation has always been suspect, the more he understands Canterbury and Rome, and his hatred for Christian faith grows. Even if he could return to the mountains with Zarathustra and erase the fictions of good and evil, the moralisms of church and state would still inform the systematic savagery of will to power and the lust for personal immortality. Chasing white pigs on a Goan black sand beach, he sees the Indian Ocean fill his footprints. And he knows it's time to come in from the cold. A haircut at the New Delhi Intercontinental. Debriefed in Tony's heavily accented Russian. The Vietnam War's entering a crucial new phase. Your new assignment is Berkeley, organizing the student anti-war movement and coordinating new left coalitions. Your ticket for San Francisco is under the towel. Touching down at LAX, Frank tells the cabbie, Gardena, the Monterey Club. And 30 minutes later, he's riding the steep face of a rush at 1020 draw poker. Back on the brushed green felt of the Wild West.
You know that Mr. Green guy I was telling you about? The guy I saw by the train tracks?
Okay. No, well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well I saw him like up by the radio towers, you know, by the school on the hill near the shack.
That's dangerous up there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
Well, like radio, waves and.
Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy. Sometimes when he's walking around, he's got like radio programs coming out of his mouth.
Right. Yeah. He thinks he's a giant or something.
He thinks he's a giant?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Maybe he's a giant.
I think he might be.
I mean, there's a little bit of giant in all of us, This is like a recessive gene.
Mm-hmm. Just like there's a little caveman in all of us.
Yeah. But he doesn't look like a giant. I mean, he doesn't have the features of a giant. I mean, Andre the Giant was a giant.
Sure.
And he looked like a giant. Those kind of,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, maybe this is my gimlet.
Oh.
Sorry to bother you guys again.
Yeah.
They're swamped at the bar because the last call. The waitress is bringing your order as soon as she can.
Okay.
We did get a call at the front desk on the line. I've been checking all the stalls for a Henry Pinth Cornell.
He's on TV.
Do you know?
I wouldn't know.
Henry Pence Cornell is on TV.
Oh, well, I guess he's on TV. He's not here. I'm sorry to bother you.
No, it's better way.
We'll bring your drinks as soon as we can. Like, we're swamped. We're
I'm getting a little thirsty though.
Yeah, bring a gimlet.
Oh, yes.
Could you have a little water on the side?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and some peanuts.
And some peanuts.
Peanuts? Okay.
All right, enjoy the experience.
Cashews.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Cashews.
Sorry about the interruption.
All right.
Kind of a nice guy.
Yeah.
What's he
He
doing
looks
here
like
for?
somebody, but I don't know.
I know, everybody looks like somebody.
That's true. Everybody looks like somebody.
Yeah.
I was gone. It wasn't easy to remember the schematics. It was like paint with a roller. It was moves like plastic in my mind, like playing a piano, the keys, the mathematics, the entryways. I flew down the alley and soon found myself at the outer door of the translucent window, holding the gem ready for launch on the reactor pad. The train whistle went off in my mind and the glass exploded in front of me. I took 2 steps in, typed in the code, and took the crystal, put it in my pocket, and vanished. The canister was light in my pocket. I could see the tiny pyramid of light in it before I put it away and disappeared in the night before the sun rose. Thus ends 3348.
Yes. Yes, our people are working very hard to stop the runaway greenhouse. Yes, we are working very hard. But how does that connect to the doomsday machine? I do not understand. You have information about doomsday machine and the greenhouse.
Let's just say that my plans don't include the demise of the world. How can one make his moves with the potential impact that something like this could have on my future plans?
I see. Well, we have done many things together. I do not need the details. It's done. You are in. There is a reason that we meet, and we meet again.
Astoria.
Tavares.
I gotta say, Texas Red saved me on this one. Got me out of the number 7, hiding from the 51%, and doing something that'll help everyone out. It's a little bit crazy. I don't quite understand it. I'm still piecing it together. But the good news is, no more number 7. I'm back to being the gumshoe. It's really a great change. Sometimes going into exile means you're in exile. Means you haven't gone anywhere at all. Yep.
So you understand everything? Okay. And you know what you have to do at the ceremony.
Okay, well, we used to go to the 18 block, but we stopped going there, and we had a ceremony with a number 8, number 9. It didn't go very well, but I think I know. The one at the top of the hill near the abyss.
That's it. Yes. Okay. So I just want to make sure you have it clear. You know how it's going to be. Okay. Your time is
2:45, 3 o'clock.
Yeah. But the more important thing is the other thing we talked about.
Right. You asked me to bring your sleight of hand.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure you have it. And you know what you have to do with that.
So, my people in the field are familiar with the territory involved. There's a famous song based on the...
It's our song. It's the America song. Come on.
America song. They play it at football games, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And it's something to do with Edgar Allan Poe, right?
It's not the raid.
No, not Edgar Allan Poe. Francis Scott Key.
There you go.
Francis Scott Key.
Okay. So, your job is to find the fort and do what you have to do. Okay? Can you handle that?
You know, I think you figured this all out.
Yeah.
You've done it again.
I think you found a way out of exile. Congratulations. I think it's been tumultuous. I think you found a way out.
I think you found a way out for me. I know we've had our difficulties over the years, but I want to thank you, Texas Red.
Well, you know, Things are getting better all the time.
Getting better all the time.
Gumshoe.
I'm ready to go.
Here we go. Good luck. Achille. Can you hear me? Do you know I'm here? It's Frank. I know this is the end of the road, and a couple of things I just have to tell you. First off is this. Desi worked many years for this. You don't know what it means, but it means a lot to the world. It means everything to the world. And I know there's been some bad blood between us. But man to man, I thought you should know now, before you go. Desi never wanted to tell you, but I feel like you have to know. You have. Achille, you have a grandson. His name is Nico. And he's bright and he's strong. Hopefully he will take the good in you and carry it on, and the bad will just let it dissolve into nothingness. So, Achille, goodbye.